Good afternoon, everyone. This is Wayne, and this is the video version of the trade report for Tuesday, April 17th, 2018, tax day. Well, I'm coming to you with the market still open and live. And the reason I'm doing that is because I have some afternoon obligations that won't allow me to provide a trade report after the market closed today. So, what we have is basically a market that stair-stepped its way to the upside in the overnight session, and you can see how it kind of went this did kind of a classic, almost an Elliott wave type move to the upside, and we had an immediate drop at the open, which is usual and customary. I mentioned then in last night's trade report that the market has been characterized by that buying into the open and then selling at the open. And we did get that today, but we got an immediate pullback to the push back up from the downside, got bought, and now we've just been kind of going sideways. Now the market looks like it wants to head a little bit lower, but this 100% symmetry resistance line, which is now becoming, it's kind of going back and forth between resistance and support. 2704.75 on the S&P futures. This is a 15-minute chart, as always. That's the chart that I watch during the day. Has really been doing a dance with price, if you will. Now, our high print on the day in the S&P futures is 2709 and a quarter, and our low print, excluding the run up from the open, since we've been going sideways here, is 2701 and a quarter. So it's been a very tight trading range for about the last 3 hours, almost 4 hours actually. So, right now the market is kind of in a decision-making mode. That being said, it's in a very undecided kind of posture. We've got a bunch of long wicks on these candles. We've got a bunch of dojis that have set up. Market really doesn't know exactly what to do with what it's been given today. It's been a long time since there's been any bullish activity in this market, truly bullish activity, and it's coming on the heels of Netflix's earnings. So if we can take a look at Netflix real quick, and I have a chart of the VIX up right now actually, so we can take a real quick look at that first. And as I've been calling for, the VIX is just melting. I mean, we put in a 14 print today. I think right now it's at 15. Actually, it's at 1493, and we've been lower than that. So as I said, I've been looking at this downward trend in the VIX, and have been completely and totally expecting this, and do expect it to drop even more. Now, that being said, the VIX is a funny animal, and it can definitely have a pop back up. And we do use the base of the Ichimoku cloud for resistance. So this could have a fairly decent pop back up to the upside if market conditions or binary events occur in such a manner as to precipitate a move lower in the market, which of course by extension would cause a move higher in the VIX. That is not on the radar screen today by any stretch of the imagination. And again, on the heels of Netflix's earnings, and I am going to bring that chart over right here, right now. Netflix is trading up $29.71. It has put in new highs. So in other words, Netflix is at a new all-time high today as a result of its earnings. So will that lead the market higher? Well, it's certainly leading tech higher today. The unfortunate thing for this market is banks are nowhere to be found today. Goldman Sachs beat on its earnings and is trading lower. So let's take a look at Goldman Sachs here real quick. And I need to just find that ticker. I suppose I could type it in, but that would just be far too easy. There we go. Yeah, Goldman Sachs is trading down $5.08 today. Had a really nice pre-market move, opened higher, and just completely dropped off. So Goldman Sachs is not helping the bank's case by any stretch. And we, of course, also have JP Morgan, which is trading lower now, down 16 cents. I'll bring that chart up. And we have Citigroup, which is also trading lower, down 43 cents. So all the banks are not participating, and I think I just heard a sell signal. Just real quick, let's take a peek. No, I guess I didn't. Got some sort of a something was triggered, but you can see how price is really again dancing with this 100% symmetry line at 2704.75. They're for lack of a better way of describing it, there's almost a love affair of sorts with the 2704.75 level today between price and that level. Now, if we do get some action to the downside into the close, this 2688 level, and get you a line right here. This 2688 level right here is in play. It has to get through this 2696 first, but the DPOC, the developing point of control, is right up here, just above that 100% line. So we very easily could just go sideways from here and just slide right into the close. There's no way to know exactly what's going to happen, but given what we've seen so far today, it makes perfect sense that the market would just consolidate here and then reevaluate tomorrow after IBM reports earnings tonight. And I am not sure who is reporting earnings in the morning tomorrow, but I can take a look here real quick and let me get my ticker going here. Not my ticker, my website that I access to take a look at what is reporting in the morning, and I am finding that we've got American Express, Morgan Stanley. So Morgan Stanley, another bank. We'll see how that plays out. Abbott Labs and U.S. Bancorp. So that's another bank. Not a real big one. And Kinder Morgan. So a couple of things happening in the morning. I don't think they're market movers unless all of them miss, in which case the market will go down if they all hit their earnings. I don't really think it's going to be anything that provides enough of an impetus for this market to go higher. Just my thinking, my thoughts, my opinion. So as we watch the market with about an hour and a half left, we are just, hanging in there. It's been a very uneventful day, except for the open, and that was a very good open. We actually, we had that initial pop to the downside and then a move back up, but with the VIX getting crushed and Netflix absolutely on fire, and by extension, we obviously need to take a look at Amazon here. I bought some more Amazon today, and I chose a good day to do it. Amazon is up $54 and has really broken out here. I think Amazon is on its earnings run. It closed this gap, which is very bullish. And the fact that it's now risen above this 786, which was which was support, is now resistance. That is extremely bullish as well. The one thing I would like to do while I've got you all here, let's just do a real quick, if my tools will allow me to do so. Trying to get this all lit up here. Well, I am trying to get some Fibonacci's drawn here for y'all, and there appears to be a little bit of a lag as I draw these lines here. And we need to come down to here. Okay. So we'll let those lines get themselves all established. All right, so we've got a 618 that correlates with this 786. And then we have another 786 up here at 1529. Amazon's on its way to 1529 and probably 1576. And I think that happens before earnings. Now that means this market's going higher. With the kind of move that's happening in Amazon today, this bodes very bullish for the market overall, as you know, and the way I feel about it. Amazon is the market leader, so we are obviously looking to Amazon. We also need to always look to the VIX. The VIX is always giving us an indication of sentiment to some degree, but overall, the volatility in the market, when it begins to decrease, or as we like to call it as traders, gets crushed, that means that the market is almost getting a pass to go higher. So we'll see how it plays out. The market doesn't trade with just one stock providing the indication for direction. And when the banks are heading south, even if tech's going higher, it's going to cripple the market a little bit as it relates to being able to really take off to the upside. We just got a buy signal in the Russell. And it bears mentioning that the Russell 2000 is within 40 points of a new all-time record high. So we're talking record highs again, folks. This is very groundbreaking based on where we've been even as much as a week ago. So that's going to wrap it up for me today, and we'll see how it all plays out overnight. I'll be providing a pre-market trade report tomorrow morning, and I hope you all have a great evening. Trade safe, trade what you see if you choose to trade at all. Good night and good trading.